Alright, here we are with another episode. As always, if anyone has any pre-vote advantages they'd like to play, now's the time to do so. Alright, then we'll get to the voting. Alright, I have the votes. If anyone has any after-vote advantages they would like to play, now's the time to do so. Nobody? Alright. I can confirm we have about 9 votes tonight, as there were more extra vote advantages that played, but we'll get to those in just a minute. Slater, who did you vote for? Voted for Phil. Alright, that's 1 vote for Phil. Isaiah, who did you vote for? I voted for Loco. Alright, we have 1 vote Phil and 1 vote Loco. Ray, who did you vote for? Loco. Donald, who did you vote for? Loco. Alright, we're at 3 votes for Loco and 1 vote for Phil. Alright, Loco, who did you vote for? I voted for Ray. Alright, we're at 3 votes for Loco, 1 vote for Phil, and 1 vote for Ray. And Phil, who did you vote for? Loco. Alright, so far Loco's got 4 votes. Ray and Phil have 1, but there were 3 extra votes that were played, so anything could change. And those extra votes were for Ray, and Ray. So we have a tie between Ray and Loco. So here's what we do. In situations of tie. You both end up going home. So that means that Ray and Loco, unfortunately, you two have been eliminated from Grand Theft Auto 3. Ray, I found you off of Instagram. I've seen you in... I watched you in another org. Appreciate you for playing this game. Do you have any final words before you go? Wow, 3 extra votes. I guess it goes to show anything can happen in this game, but good luck to you all. Now, Loco, I've also found you randomly on Instagram. You're like a famous celebrity, and this is as far as you go. Do you have any final words before you go? All I could say is I think my biggest regret was not voting for Phil. I think if I just voted with Slater and casted my extra votes for Phil, because by the way, those were my extra votes for Ray, by the way, in case anyone's wondering. I should have just voted for Phil instead, and then Phil could have gone home tonight, and then I probably would have still been here another round. But anyways, it's been fun, and I made it very far. I just wish I could have made it. I just wish I could have made it at least 1 more round. Alright, Loco, thank you very much. It's time for you to go. Alright, we are now down to the final 4. And guess what? I think we have time for another elimination. So if anyone has any pre-vote advantages they'd like to play, now's the time to do so. Nobody. Alright, then we'll get to the vote. Alright, I got the votes. If anyone has any after-vote advantages they would like to play, now's the time to do so. Nobody? Okay. I can confirm there were only 4 votes tonight, as we're at the final 4. So that means no extra vote advantages were played. There were actually 4 votes. Slater, who did you vote for? I stuck with my vote as before. I voted for Phil. Alright, that's 1 vote for Phil. Isaiah, who'd you vote for? I voted for Phil as well. Alright, Phil's got 2 votes. Donald, who did you vote for? I actually voted for Isaiah. Alright, we're at 2 votes Phil and 1 vote Isaiah. And Phil, who did you vote for? Isaiah. Alright, so we have another tie between Isaiah and Phil, so that means you both have been eliminated. I guess I'll start with you, Phil, since we're already here. Phil, I was very happy to see you play. I remember playing in your Traders game so many months ago. I was really happy you got to come into this game, and you made it pretty far, too. Do you have any final words before you go? Nope, except best of luck to the final 2, Slater and Donald. Isaiah, you had one extra vote. All you had to do was just use it, and then it would have been just Phil going home, and you could have been here for at least another round. But you were really close. Isaiah, you were very strategic. I was very happy to see you here. Do you have any final words before you go? Nope, except best of luck to the final two. All right, well, we have our final two, Slater and Donald. Now, we obviously need a winner. And usually, for every season, we do a challenge to win. But because we ran out of challenge ideas for the first time ever for this season, if anyone has any extra votes that they have, then that will determine how many you got. And the most would be the winner. Slater, how many extra votes do you have right now? 0. Donald, 1. And with that, congratulations to Donald. You are the winner of Grand Theft Auto 3. Congratulations. And Slater, you are the runner-up of this season. I appreciate you guys for being here. And Donald, congratulations. Yes, thank you so much. Well, I gotta say, like, this was a very interesting season, if I do say so myself. Um, I know it took a lot of work. Like, this might be probably the longest work I've ever had to take for this game. But Grand Theft Auto 3 is finally done. And the real question is, will there be another season? Yes, there will be, as I have Grand Theft Auto Vice City coming up in our next season. The cast reveal will be out very soon with the intro. And I can't wait for that. So until then, we will see you next season.